Congratulations on making it this far into our analysis this week. I'm going to show you how to complete the calculations in our Excel file. First, you're going to want to note we do have a few formulas here. I posted them here because in the file itself, they're a little bit difficult to read sometimes. And so this way you'll have them. You can go ahead and click on the file itself and then enter it. You'll notice it is saved as a Google Doc. Because we are using Google Sites, we cannot use Excel. So the first thing we're going to do is go to File, Download, Microsoft Excel to go ahead and put that in Excel. And then that will download for us and we can begin working. This is the only file that you're going to need to submit for this week, which is awesome. And there are 3 tabs to this worksheet. So looks like it is slowly downloading. Sorry about the wait. Okay, here it pops. Okay, this is our file for this week, and we're going to click Enable Editing. Everywhere we need to fill out is going to be highlighted in yellow, which is pretty helpful. It also has our formulas here. You can kind of see them if you click on the tab. However, when you look at the tab itself, it's not quite as easy to read. So I always recommend either clicking on this tab here or going back over into our CBA document where it has the formulas for us. So let's get started. First, we're going to find the totals. To total a column or a row, you can do it one of 2 ways. You can click on Home and then Auto Sum, and it will sum that row for you. And then you just click Enter. And then you can Control C to copy and Control V to paste. The other way you can find the total of a column is click Equal Sum and then parentheses and select the cells that you want. Add a parentheses and you'll see that we have the sum of B9 through B11. They use a colon to separate these. And then we can Control C and Control V to paste those over as well. And then finally, we are going to do our total benefits column. And this is going to be $870,000. So for the project Surge a Check, we have $870,000 in total benefits. And this lists out exactly what those benefits are if you'd like to check those out. We're going to do the same thing over here with costs. I'm going to select Auto Sum, and it's going to sum up all of our columns. And I'm going to Control C and then Control V to paste it down. I'm going to show you here. We're going to auto sum. If you notice, there are times when you auto sum, it will not select all of the cells you want. The cells it is selecting are going to be showed in the blue, and then it's going to have like this Pac-Man running thing around it. So if you want to change the cells, you can either manually enter those in to be cells B15 through 19, or you can left mouse click down, highlight that whole area, let go of your mouse, and then you'll notice it now says 15 through 19. It usually does this if there are any gaps between the data or something like that. So be sure to look out for those when you're doing these, so that way you for sure get the totals. Once you have all the totals, you can auto sum your column. So now we know our total costs are $725,000 for Surge a Check. Next, we're going to find our net cash flow, which is our benefits minus our cost. So we're going to type in equals benefits. Looks like we have 0 benefits in year 0, which makes sense because how could we have benefits when we have not started using the project? We're also going to have a lot of costs because we are buying the system that we're going to be using. You'll notice our total net cash flow is going to have parentheses around it. This is because it's negative. Your Excel version may have this in red instead of black. That's another way a negative is presented. So it could be either way, but I just wanted to let you know when you see that parentheses, there's a reason for that. And then we can do that for each year. So equals benefits minus costs, and then enter, equals benefits minus costs, 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 enter, and then our total, benefits minus costs. And so our net cash flow is 145,000. For our three calculations, we are first going to find the NPV. You're going to want to look up there because the way that Excel converts that over isn't quite as neat as it shows initially. And so your formula is going to be given here. And so we're going to do this together. This is often a tricky one. So I want to make sure that we are doing this together. So equals NPV. You can capitalize it or not, it doesn't matter. Parentheses, our cost of capital, which is just our cost to borrow. And then we're going to put a comma in here. And then it wants our net cash flows for years 1 through 5. So hold down and drag over, and you'll see we're going from cell C22 through G22. Then put a parentheses at the end, and then plus our net cash flow for year 0. And you'll find this is our net cash flow, or I'm sorry, our NPV for this Surge a Check project. So our next one is going to be our IRR. Note that it's also not formatted quite perfectly here. This is another one I want us to do together. This is our internal rate of return. And so parentheses, and we're going to do all of those years from 0 through 5. Note in the NPV, it is 1 through 5, and then in IRR, it is 0 through 5. Enter, we have 9.7%. And then finally, for our benefit cost ratio, this will tell us which project we want to do. We want the highest benefit cost ratio. That means we have more benefits per dollar than any other project. So when you're selecting a project, you're going to select the one with this highest benefit cost ratio. And that formula is very easy. It's the total benefits divided by the total costs. So equals total benefits divided by the total costs. If you had a benefit cost ratio less than 1, that means it costs more than the benefits you get out. So you definitely would not want to undertake that project. So I did this first one with you. The other two, MedScan and UVD robotics, are exactly the same, but different data. I do want to show you just a little limitation that you may have noticed in Excel. Excel is a tricky thing. You think that it can round things, and it does, but it doesn't really round things. And so I want to make sure that you notice this. Sometimes students can want to just add these up in their heads or with a calculator instead of using the formulas that I showed you. But in this MedScan, you will actually have issues because there are decimal places hiding in this sheet. So let's go ahead and highlight the cells, right click and format cells. And then we go to number. We can add some decimals here. And what you'll notice, like here's a 0.5 and a 0.75. So if you were to calculate these using a calculator, you would get the incorrect total. Excel does not ever round. So your answers will be based on those totals, whether they're visible to your human eyes or not. And I think sometimes that can get very tricky because you think, you know, I don't see this number, so it's not there. So please be sure you're using the formulas, whether or not you use this auto sum or whether you use equal sum and then the numbers. Either way, you can do it, but just make sure that you're cognizant of the fact that you need to use the formulas for this. Once you select your correct project, you're going to select the one that has that highest benefit cost ratio. And then you can enter that into your lock and go on to the next room. Congratulations for getting this far. Have a good day.